Okay, so thank you for taking the time to help me evaluate the content of and user friendliness of Carabella Coffee's website. In this experiment, you will be given 8 tasks to complete using this website. As you browse the site and complete tasks, please think out loud. For example, if you are searching for something on a page, please say out loud what you are looking for and why. Please feel free to share any comments or opinions you have on the site as you continue to use it. Whether these tasks are related or not, I may remind you to think out loud if needed. The only visual recording will be of the screen as you work on it, and the only audio will be our voices through the computer microphone. This activity will take approximately 20 to 40 minutes. This recording and any information will be kept confidential and for classroom purposes only. You can ask to quit at any time if you feel uncomfortable for any reason. Remember, this is an evaluation of a website quality, not at all of your ability to navigate this website or internet. We appreciate your participation and your honesty. So if you can go ahead and sign right down here where it says signature of user.
Just type it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I have some questions for
Want
you.
me to save this?
Yes. Okay, so before we even start, I have some questions I want to ask you. So how long have you been an internet user, and what do you find difficult about the internet in general?
Probably 23 years. And, I find trusting commerce websites to be difficult for me. Meaning, like, I trust Amazon and I trust iTunes and I trust other sites. But I wouldn't, I don't trust maybe Maggie's t-shirts or, you know, Helen's perfume counter or something like that.
Okay, so how often do you research coffee shops online?
Rarely, but in the last year I've done it one time because we had a local coffee shop that we had gone to on a trip and I wanted to buy more coffee from them.
How do you typically hear about coffee shops?
Well, being local, most of the time I hear, I know about the coffee shops around. But if I'm traveling, I usually use either Google Maps or TripAdvisor to find coffee shops if I'm wanting coffee other than gas station coffee.
Okay, so I have a couple warm-up tasks for you. To familiarize you with the process, we have some initial tasks we would like you to do. So please remember to think out loud when completing the tasks. Okay? So go ahead and go to carabellacoffee.com.
You want me to say I'm opening the browser?
Yes.
I'm opening Google Chrome, and I'm going to, I don't know how to spell Carabella. CarabelloCoffee, right?
Yep.
.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So scroll your mouse over to the Story tab and click on it.
Okay, I see the Story tab on second from the left, and I'm clicking on it.
Okay, so feel free to scroll through the page.
Okay, scrolling down through the page, reading briefly, just reading at the content.
Okay, when you're done, return to the home page.
Okay, I'm still looking through the site.
Okay.
You're just reading this content or looking to see what this is all about. And this is in Cincinnati?
It's in northern Kentucky.
Okay. Okay.
So
I'm scrolling back up. Well, actually, I don't need to scroll all the way back up. I'm going to click on the Carabello Coffee logo in the middle, thinking it should take me to the homepage.
Correct. Okay, so for this section, these are going to be the main tasks. I would like you to imagine you are traveling for work and you are looking amongst multiple local food and beverage websites for information of where to get the best service and food beverage for your buck. Please go through the tasks listed one by one and remember to talk aloud. So, using the Carabello Coffee website, please find the address or addresses of where you could buy this coffee if you were staying in Covington, Kentucky, and list them for me.
Well, being that I'm on the home page, I would probably do a browser find. Well, no, I wouldn't. I would probably scroll down the page to the bottom. That's where I usually look for addresses for a website first. So I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, and I'd expect it to be in the footer. Having a little trouble with this Mac computer. Oh, there, I just saw an address in Newport, Kentucky. Didn't get all the way down the page.
Okay, so to be a little more specific, I'm looking to if I can buy coffee in another place other than the shop itself.
You mean like online or physically buy it?
Like physically or online. I'm looking for areas in Covington.
Okay. I guess, thinking that, I would probably go back to Google and look for that first. But being that I'm on the site, I would probably click search and type in Covington. If my caps lock wasn't on. Oh, seems to force you into capital letters, which is weird. Now it says, sorry, nothing found for Covington. So that was the website search and couldn't find anything in Covington. So my first thought would be that they don't have a location in Covington. I guess the next thing I would do is go to learn if I still felt like they might. Let's see. Let's scroll down the page. Assume. Yeah, see there it's talking about latte art and barista basics. That's no interest to me. Again, I see the address that's Newport. I'm not buying online. Find Our Coffee. There's a Find Our Coffee in the footer. So I guess I would click on that. Yeah, I clicked on the footer, Find Our Coffee. You don't have to stop by our brick and mortar shop to get our coffee. Okay, so this is probably where I would find. Okay, so I see that there's places in Newtown, Cincinnati. I'm still looking on the page.
So you're looking for
Covington. I might do a browser search, Command F there, and do a browser search for Covington. Okay, so I see that Rich's Proper Food and Drink is there in Covington, and I can buy it there. I find that to be a little disappointing because it didn't come up in the site search. So I would say that that's a usability flaw for the site in their search engine.
Okay. So is that the only place that sells it in Covington?
Well, let me go back to the browser search again. It says there's 6. Okay. So yes, there's others. Hotel Covington, Point Perk, and Tier 1. It doesn't tell me a lot about this. And they're not very well organized on this page. I would have thought, they'd organize it by area or something. It just seems to be kind of willy-nilly on this page. So.
Okay. So imagine you are wanting to attend their analog coffee bar. If you wanted to reserve a seat, how would you reserve it? When could you reserve it? And how would you receive a booking notification for this event?
First question I would ask is, what is an analog coffee bar? I see that there's a navigation choice here. So I would, I guess you're assuming that I knew about this already?
Yes.
Okay, so I would click on the second from the right link that says analog bar. wait for the page to load. I guess I don't have to really, if I already know what it's about. Carefully expanded their 9th Street analog menu, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I would click about half, second section there. I could reserve a seat clicking the reserve a seat button. Do you want me to do that?
Yes.
I clicked on reserve a seat. Now, I don't really want to reserve a seat, but so I'm looking and it says today, which doesn't surprise me because it's the end of the day, there's no availability. Monday, there isn't any availability, nor Tuesday, nor Wednesday. Okay, Thursday, I can see that there's some availability from 1 to 7 p.m. and several seats. So I assume I can click on one of these and book it. Yep, looks like I can book it from right there.
Okay, so I was logged in too earlier. So I forgot to log out, so that was my
mistake. So it does say, yeah. So I don't know what the experience would be. Do you want me to log you out and see?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm signing out. I'm signing Ruby out. And it says, it brings me back to a login page or a reservation page. I guess I'm looking at the URL that says carabellocoffee.reserva.com. That tells me I'm on a different site completely. Mm-hmm. And this is, I'm assuming, that where I can make a new booking here.
Yes.
So what I would do myself is, because again, saying that, I trust locations that I like that they have Facebook login and Google Plus login. I'd probably use that for this because it's just easier for me. So I'm going to click on the authorize with Facebook, although I don't have
it's linked to my Facebook
password. Yeah, it's linked to her Facebook. So, but I guess normally I would use that. Do I have to do this?
No, you don't.
Okay, so.
But
I see how to sign up, and I mean I can create an account, but I don't have access to my email either, so I assume I would need that.
Yeah. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and navigate yourself back to.
Okay, I'm using the back button to do that. And now it seems that, well, no, I'm not stuck. So that's good. I thought I would. Sometimes, and this is a frustration of mine, sometimes when you go back through forms, especially in logouts, you tend to get stuck in one spot with the back button. But this, in this case, went back to the site. So now where do you want me to go on the site?
Okay, so please list all the prices for the Coffee of the Month memberships. Please also explain the differences between each membership.
Okay, so I'm just remembering from earlier, my first instinct would probably be go to shop, but I'm remembering from earlier that I saw a subscriptions link in the footer. So instead of going to shop, I'm going to use the subscriptions under shop in the footer. And again, that may not be the normal way people would ordinarily do that, but that was just what I saw. Okay, so I see that there are Coffee of the Month subscriptions. They are, looks like 6-month and full year with local pickup and a shipping option. I assume the shipping option would be more expensive. If it was convenient for me, I might do that. There's also a Roaster's Choice subscription. Doesn't really say much about it right there other than having a picture and saying that this subscription exists. So I don't see what these prices are at all without clicking into them. So, I see, to summarize, I see 4 regular Coffee of the Month subscriptions with no pricing, 2 being 6-month versions and full year versions of each of the 4, or each one. The only difference being local pickup and with shipping. Again, I don't see the prices, and then I see a Roaster's Choice subscription. None of these tell me the prices, so I don't know what they are. So is that the end of that task, or did you want me to find out what the pricing was? Oh, I'm sorry. I just moused over the image that said the subscription, and I see that the let me go back here and do this all the way across. I see that the 6-month local pickup subscription is $90. I assume that means for the whole 6 months. That makes sense. The full year local pickup is $180, which is twice that. Doesn't give me any discount on that. I usually would expect a discount of some sort by buying a year in advance. The 6-month with shipping subscription is $132. That is a large jump from the 6-month local pickup. That's that's almost $40 more. I guess I thought it was $60 and 132, so I guess it's not that significant of a jump. But it's $132 for the 6-month subscription with shipping, and it's $264 with the full year with shipping. And again, it's just twice the price for the full year. Most times when you buy something through a subscription, like for instance, Netflix might cost, and I'm just using this general number, is it might cost, it's $12 a month. Okay. And I know it's not that now, but instead of but if you pay a year in advance, it might be $10 a month. So I see a lot of that online. So I'm not seeing that here. Okay. Finally, the last subscription choice is Roaster's Choice. It's $14.95. And again, I know how much it is, but I still don't know what it is. So can I click on this?
You can,
okay.
yes.
Because that's the only one that I really didn't have. I assumed that all the others were you were getting coffee of some sort. It doesn't tell me here what the, I can get Roaster. When I get to the page, it says Roaster's Choice subscription, $14.95. Deliver every 1 week. It has a link to subscription details. Product are automatically delivered on your schedule. No obligation modifier. Cancels your subscription anytime. Again, that doesn't tell me. I would expect a Roaster's Choice subscription to be more. First, I expected it to be more expensive because it's a Roaster's Choice. It seems more exclusive to me than just a regular coffee of the month. So, while it's not, I didn't break it down what it would be for month by month, but it seems less expensive because it's delivered every week. But I think in the long run, that would be much more expensive over a year or 6 months' time. The only thing it tells me here is the type of coffee. When I do the drop, I click the drop down under the options, and the grind is either whole bean, AeroPress, or cone, flat, or French press. That again doesn't tell me. Okay, so now scrolling down below the add to cart, and then it says Roaster's Choice subscription delivers a wide array of our single origin coffee right to your door. That's kind of the value add proposition there a little bit. Now I didn't look at the other pages, so I can't say. I'm not reading through all of this how it works in roast level, but it does give me more information on what the Roaster's Choice subscription is. Do you mind if I go back and see and compare this to another?
I don't mind at all. Take your time.
Another subscription option. I click the back button to go to the other subscription options, and I'm going to look at the coffee of the month. So I didn't realize this at first, and I think it was just I was assuming that was type of coffee. But I clicked on the drop down above add to cart, and I see that the options are whole bean, ground French press, cone filter, or flat. That's the type of grind for whatever system you have to brew coffee. So I didn't necessarily get that on the Roaster's Choice of the month. it didn't to me. That's not a fault of the website. It was me not thinking about what they were actually offering there. The Coffee of the Month Club seems that they send you whatever they want. Just whatever type of coffee is considered their coffee of the month, or the roaster's choice. I guess the difference is that the roaster himself, which they named and had pictures of on the previous site, chooses a special roast. So again, without a calculator here, I think the coffee of the month is probably a lot cheaper. I don't know if it's a lot cheaper because I'm looking at the local pickup one. I'm looking at the 6-month local pickup, so I don't know. Maybe it isn't cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not. You're not asking me to assess cost here.
Right. So,
Excuse me.
please explain what Carabella Coffee does for Rwanda.
Okay. So, sitting where I am on a Coffee of the Month subscription, I'm looking at the site just here with the header, and I would have to assume that where I would learn that is either under Learn or Giving Back. I'm assuming it's under Giving Back, so I'll click on that and see if that's where I can find what you're looking for. Giving Back, a philanthropic coffee roasting company. Our mission is to roast exotic coffee profits, what we call works of compassion, both here and in our Cincinnati community as well as abroad. Although we specifically started specifically with an orphanage in Nicaragua. Did you say Rwanda?
I said Rwanda, yes.
As these kids have grown up, they've moved out and supporting wonderful causes below. Okay, so supporting coffee needs and coffee producing nature. So I see that they mentioned Nicaragua again with a picture and what they do there, and Can You Kids Can. I'm not reading all of this. Again, I'm looking specifically for Rwanda here. Okay, so I see another picture as I scroll down of something called Coffee Kids, but then next to it I see Compassion International Rwanda. So each month, Carabello Coffee supports 2 children in Rwanda. Compassion International exists as a Christian child advocacy ministry that releases children from spiritual, economic, social, and physical poverty and enables them to be responsible, fulfilled Christian adults. Today, Compassion has more than 1.3 million children in 26 countries. In addition, we regularly support direct relationships with farmers with additional contributions towards the improvement of operating their farms and unexpected needs that arise. I find that to be a little confusing because they support 2 children in Rwanda, but then the next sentence they talk about they help more than 1.3 million children in 26 countries. That doesn't say, they don't continue to talk about Rwanda there. Did you want me to put that in my own words? The description?
If you want, mainly I'm just trying to see you navigate through this.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, I found it on the page where, on the Giving Back page where I expected it to be. I like the idea that these folks at Carabello Coffee are doing this. I always have a lot of respect for people who run local businesses and try to give back in all kinds of ways.
Okay. So the next question, task, please list all the requirements you need to include when you apply to work for Carabello Coffee.
Okay, so to do that, I'm going to click. I've scrolled back up while you were talking to the top of the Giving Back page just because I was just doing mindlessly while you were doing that. I'm looking at the top menu now, and I'm clicking on Join Our Team, obviously, because that tells me that they are hiring in some way. Now, this is just my own personal thought. I'm always looking for IT jobs because that's my job. But now, so that's just a reflection on that. You said this, mention those as you had them. What did you ask me again?
Please
what were
list
the
all
requirements?
the requirements you need to include when you apply to work at Carabella Coffee.
Okay, so I've scrolled down and it says, we are looking to add to our team. Are you our next member? And then it says, let's find out. Looks like there's no more. I scrolled down the page to see if there's any more content down the page. Sometimes these kind of buttons just shoot you down the page and they seem pointless. But right now I'm clicking on the let's find out button. It says press enter next to it. I don't know if that's, I'm going to click on the mouse. I guess I could click the enter key. If I was doing a test on functionality, I'd make sure that the enter key worked. If for my job I would do that. Here I'm not. Okay, so the next thing is, can we get your first name? It looks like it might be uh, simplifying a long form. So I typed my name, my first name, and clicked OK. Now, so here's what the job, it tells what the job involves. References on your resume, high volumes and customers with a smile. Takes hiring. I like that they say that they take their hiring quality employees seriously. We want committed to customer service and philosophy. Everybody's going to say that. Long-term employees who get to know our customer base are ideal, as well as a flexible schedule. That's a lot to ask for a coffee company that usually hires young people that are like college age. But again, okay, so sounds great. Okay, I still haven't found out what you need to provide them.
So
I clicked.
I was mainly looking for what they, back on that page right before here, where it was saying like you have to have like customer service experience, things like that. That's what I was looking for.
Okay, I'm sorry I didn't read those out loud.
No, that's totally fine. You found the page.
Okay. So yeah, okay.
So, please explain how much it costs to attend a barista basics class, what the class entails, and how many people attend the class, and how long the class is.
Okay, so, again, I don't know what the analog bar is, so uh, to me that doesn't mean anything, but based on what you're saying, I would say that that's probably under the events link on the the top menu, so I'm clicking on that. And you said, what was the name? The basic barista?
The basic barista class.
Okay, special event tickets. Are you looking to do something special? That sounds cool. I mean, okay, so I see that they have a couple of special events there, but I don't see the basic barista. So I think I've clicked on the wrong place. So again, if I was just coming to this website for the first time, I probably wouldn't give up that easy. I'd probably click on learn, which is what I'm going to do. Some people might give up at that point. I don't know. It depends on, if you've heard about the class, then I would look until I found it. So I'm clicking on learn, I'm scrolling down the page. I also remember seeing this from earlier. So I see that latte art, barista basics, but it says latte art basics. So it looks like, actually that looks like a mistake on the website, because one says latte art basics in the image, and it says latte art basics below it. It says it's September 21st, and that's sold out, which was yesterday. Right next to it, it says barista basics on another image, and says latte art basics September 21st. Again, that looks exactly like the same. The description just looks like it describes the same class. You can click on the image. I'll click through and see if that's So when I click through to the image, it says that it's a barista basic class. So it looks like that text might be wrong on the site. So yeah, so it's $200 to take that. That's pretty pricey. So probably wouldn't take that. Okay. So
What does the class entail?
it's you can use a commercial espresso machine for the first time. Um, they basically teach people to pull shots, steaming milk, things that wouldn't mind knowing that, but not for $200. They teach you about espresso extraction, dialing in the grind, dosing, tamping, milk steaming, and drink building. And by the end, you'll be able to pull some great shots of espresso and get back to some delicious drinks, which is cool. I like that. I guess that's the offering.
Okay, so how many people attend the class and how long is the class?
The class only has one or two participants, and the class duration is 3 hours.
Okay, so your next task is please explain the significance of the tandem bike.
Okay, I saw that in the footer, so I am going to, from the page I'm on, which is the Barista Basics page, I'm going to scroll down. Now I have not seen. Oh, I just noticed that there is a tandem bicycle in the logo. I had not noticed that before you just said that. So I was just about to say I had not seen a tandem bicycle anywhere in there. So while I was talking, I clicked on the tandem bicycle link in the footer, and I'm getting ready to read this. Tandem bike, since they decided I'm getting engaged. I'm going to read this for just 1 second here quietly. Huh. So the owners, the husband and wife, the wife wanted when they got engaged, she didn't want a wedding ring. She wanted a tandem bike. So that when he popped the question to her, he bought her a bike, a vintage red Colombian tandem bike, and that's hanging, I assume, in the restaurant. So.
Okay. So for your last task, please find the social media and contact information for Caravella Coffee and list them for me.
Okay. Well, there's a couple of spots, maybe 3 spots. I was at the bottom of the page for the tandem bike, and I see that the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram logos are there. So that's one place. I also see it in below the menu of the article I'm reading that links you to Facebook, Twitter, and not Instagram, Pinterest, which probably makes more sense for this kind of company. And I'm looking for spots here that I would expect it to be. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I went to the footer again. That seems to be my go-to, but only Facebook and Instagram are there. So now, what do you want me to get? The contacts?
The contact information and the social media platforms.
Okay, the social media platforms total are Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram. Okay, now what was the other thing?
And their contact info.
Okay, so the contact information for their social media?
No, just for like the coffee shop in general.
Oh, okay. So the contact information I got at the bottom of the page, in the footer, that says the email address is coffee@carabellocoffee.com, and the phone number that I would call would be 859-415-1587.
Okay. So now that we've done this, I have a couple questions for you regarding your experience just now. So, do you have any suggestions for this site based on your experience in this experiment as far as navigation goes?
I think, one of the things that we noticed, or that I noticed in there, was the subscriptions. The subscription models don't. There's too many clicks to get to it. That should be, and I didn't really look at their homepage. I'm going to click to the homepage here. I understand they want to bring people into their restaurant and their locations, and they buy their coffee in locations. But, I would think that you have to scroll out of the very first view to see the coffee subscriptions, and they have something also called limited release coffee, which we didn't check, and I'm not going to check because that's what we're talking about. It would seem, I don't know if they put the sales up front, and even then the subscriptions it took me too many clicks to figure out what they were about. I mean, I could figure out that there was a subscription, and I could do a local pickup on it, and I could do one shipping online, which is kind of unique for a business like this, I would think. And I don't know. I don't do this kind of subscription. Right. But, I thought that their subscription choices, they need to be very clear and concise right up front.
Okay.
What they are in them as well.
Okay. So would you visit this site again if you were trying to find information on local coffee places?
The only reason I would ever, I don't think I would. I don't think I would revisit this site. I would, if I wanted to go there, I would call you up and say, hey, what was that website? What was that coffee website? And you would remind me that it was Carabella Coffee. Then I would just Google it to find out the location. Okay. And I'd go physically to their location. I would not buy a subscription from them without trying the coffee first. Okay, so
you would rather visit the brick and mortar store than do anything with them, like online,
without ever having their coffee. Yes.
Okay, so how would you rate this website on a scale of 1 to 10 for efficiency?
A 6.
A 6. Okay. How might you rate this website on a scale of 1 to 10 for aesthetic or being pleasing to the eye?
Well, I thought it was very pleasing. I would give it a 9.
A 9.
I like they have very lifestyle-y pictures there. And while that doesn't necessarily appeal to me so much, I know for the demographic that you're trying to sell to, which is probably younger than I am, that's a very good thing. Yeah. So I think it's a very pleasing website. The tandem bike story is cute. I don't know how important it is to the thing in general, but it was, when it went there, it was like, it made me feel like, oh, these guys are nice, Right. Yeah.
Okay, so last question. Now that you have familiarized yourself with their brand and website, would you trust the brand itself?
I think I probably have more trust in them now because I read about the giving back. But again, I would have only through visits to the brick and mortar stores would I be able to gain more trust before I bought online. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because it would be, because I like coffee shops. I like the atmosphere, and I also like developing relationships with people, in both baristas and, I like developing those relationships. That would foster trust with me.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for helping me with this. I really do appreciate it.
You're welcome.